Welcome back to Frontier for episode 2 with me, MrSealyp. We're back. Things are looking up, things are looking down. It's a roller coaster, it swings and roundabouts, you pick whichever one you want. Right, we did get another full load of ore, and I think I've got about 30 litres left on the floor. I did find another pile a little bit further up the hill. I have been warned, and I want to say straight off the bat, thank you to everyone, absolutely everyone. Map tour views, and the first episode of this, I've had a ton of feedback. Thank you to everyone. Good, bad, indifferent. I take it on board, and you know, we kind of go from there. There's a couple of things I'm going to say now. How was I supposed to know? It's one of those things that I'll explain in a moment. I've got more work I've got to do. My citizenship, some people like the idea, some people don't. I said it would be the case. Some people love the map, some people don't. I also said that would be the case. To gain citizenship, I already said in the last episode, there are certain jobs and things I'm going to have to do. I've just got to suck it up, get on with it. What I get told, what I get, tasked to do, I have to do, get on with it, because I need to get citizenship. As I said before, I have got money, but I can't borrow money. I can't buy equipment, I can't buy land until I'm a citizen. So I've got to jump through the hoops, I've got to do the things I've got to do to get my citizenship. Now, when I did the map tour, it was just a map tour. And I was saying about metal to melt and about the rubbish that all the various different production chains make. And thank you to everyone that's reached out to me. Now, this is one of those things, as you start playing the game, and as you're putting hours in, as you're wandering around, as you're looking for stuff, you will happen across it. I didn't happen across this when I was doing all my prep for my map tour. And to be fair, the map tour, I mean, there was so much information, so much to get your head around. Anyway, it was a tricky proposition. But metal to melt, there are certain locations around the map as you wander around where you'll find these. If we go up to them, the hand comes up. They're too heavy, but 5,000 litres metal to melt, 8.1 tonnes. Now these can be taken and put into here, the various different locations that take metal to melt. But here's the thing, I'm playing on multiplayer because I wanted to have the transitional authority and myself, and now that at the moment is all saying transitional authority, which means I can grab it, I can pick it up if I've got a piece of equipment I can do it with, and I've got a low loader, I've got whatever I need to put it onto, and I can take it and I can sell it, but I won't get the money for it. That will go to the transitional authority. So potentially, if I do, I might get paid for that by them. We're going to get onto that about payments in a little while, because we're trash talking and talking about kickbacks as well today. And the other thing are these, which again, I just thought was part of the furniture. Come over to here, same thing. Transitional authority, 1.1 tonne, recyclable trash, 1,000 litres. Now these can be taken, and they are going to be taken, because as I was saying, on top of removing the dirt, part of my job, my remit, is going to be trash collection. So I can go and grab some of these, and we can take them to the recycling centre. But again, that says transitional authority. Now I'm on my account, and that's why I've only got $4,739 in the old Skyrocket. But if I take those, I think the transitional authority will get it. And again, because I'm working on behalf of them, because I've got to do the jobs they want me to do, I guess rubbish collection, refuse collection, however you refer to it, wherever you are, it's just another hoop I've got to jump through. We're going to talk about kickbacks in a little while, so we're going to get onto that. But first things first, get rid of this. Thank you to Farmer Magnum, because this is a production, I've got to be careful, because this will have a fill limit. So I can't just keep bringing stuff here, because it will need to chug away and it will need to use what I've put in already. But to be fair, the speed at which I'm doing this. However, you know I said about the contracts that I'd taken on? Let's do that and that. So the contract I took on as a backup, I have done, or I'm part way through doing. We're going to get onto that in just a moment. I'm part way through doing that, and as I said, I can't own land, I can't do anything like that. Now, contract work, especially farming contract work, because you're doing the farming, and it's the greater good thing, because we're inside the wall. and all the farmland that's inside the wall is producing feed, like farmers do anyway, for everyone that lives inside the city. So it's that kind of, I dare to use the word communism, it's that socialism, that kind of everyone mucks in, everyone does their part, everyone has a job to do, everyone does it for the greater good, everyone benefits from the work you do. So the farmers are doing what they do, the miners are doing what they do, the military, oh no, I'll really back this up with a bit of oomph, there we go. Everyone's doing what they need to do to make it all work. I did that last time, let's go back a bit further, there we go. So if I've taken on a contract, whilst I'm doing the contract is for the whole economy, it's for everybody. So there's where the kickback thing comes in. I'm going to get over to the field in just a moment. It's so much nicer doing this, not having to just push that wheelbarrow. Thank you to everyone that commented to said. I did have a few people saying, I've never seen anything like it. I can't believe that for most of that first episode I was just pushing the wheelbarrow around. I can't either, you know, and I've said this before. A few Let's Plays I've done recently when people have said, oh, you're just doing the same old thing. Hey, come on. When have I done that before? This is the equipment that we were given by the authority to get on with it. So we've got this, the Mettrack. We had the, where is it over there? Just a front mower and a windrower, which worked really well. All the bales are out. I've just got to finish off these last couple of rows and I've got to wrap them. And here's where the kickback thing comes in. So any contracts I do, and again, this is that kind of, you know, people were looking for different. People wanted something, you know, it's very easy to just slip back into the same thing. But because of the way this is designed, the way this is set up, I can do contract work. Yes, I can. But any payment from the contract work, I only keep a third of it. The kickback goes back to the authority, 2/3 to them, I keep a third. However, I can keep anything left over. So I only get a third of the payment, but I can get what's left over. So for harvest contracts and stuff, that might be right. For doing this, actually, for baling and wrapping, this might not work out too badly. We could make a nice little bit of extra money. The contract I know is worth about 11 grand, but again, it'll be that thing of just jumping straight on back into the doing contracts again. All of a sudden, I say I'm flush. I'm not flush because again, like I said, I can't buy anything. Okay, unfortunately, that's it. That's the bales done. So because I can't buy anything, I need to have money to be able to rent stuff, and I've got to allow for those fees. So yeah, that's the situation. That's the kickback. You know, until I'm a citizen. Once I'm a citizen, I can take contract work on, I can do whatever I want, and I can keep the money. That's all mine. Until then, it's like having a probation officer, I suppose. You're assigned to, and you have to. I'm not saying probation officers take kickbacks. That's not what I'm saying at all. If you're a probation officer, that's not what I meant. It's that situation of you have to report to somebody, and that's just the situation. We came in from the waste in the first episode knowing that this could potentially be a thing we've got to do. So rather than us being in mega debt, which we have been on certain ones, and we've had to do certain things to get ourselves out of debt, or we've done situations where we've started with nothing and we're building up by doing contract work, this is just a different way of looking at it. And I thought by picking up a bit of contract work as well, we are doing some farming as well, but you know, we're doing some baling work. If other contracts become available, I might pick up some other contracts as well. So, moving forward with my operation, what do I need to move forward to make my job easier? Because remember, I've still got all that dirt to clear on those roads. That's all got to be cleared. On top of anything else I do, any rubbish, refuse collection I do, anything like that, I've still got to clear all that. That's all got to be done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lease a skid steer loader with a bucket. I'm going to lease a little trailer to probably put it on. If I can get one with ramps, I've got a couple in mind. I think they're like little low loaders, quad transports, that kind of thing. Small enough that I can probably put a skid steer loader on. The problem I've got is I don't know whether or not my little 5-wheeler Whether that will hook up to them and whether it's got enough oomph to pull it, that's a good point. I don't know. I'm not in a position where... I'm just thinking financially. We'll see after we've done this. We'll work out the fees. Work out what the kickback is. Work out what we're left with. Like I say, with this one it's not so bad because silage bales, if there are any left over, if I'm going to get the money from anything that's left over, we might do alright out of there. I'm just trying, what, they're 3,500 litre bales, aren't they? Anyway, yeah, so that's the situation we're in, that's where we're at. I'm just trying to clarify a few points. Also bring up the fact that, you know, a lot of people messaged me and said, you know, about the map tour and said, oh, you missed this, and yeah, I did. I said, no bones about it on the map tour, that I would probably miss something. You know, generally speaking, a map tour is not a deep dive into the map. You'll pick up as much as you can, as much information as you can pass on, but it's generally showing the map and saying to people, look, this is the map, this is what's here, this is what's available. Some of the stuff, and because this one is jam-packed, absolutely rammed with stuff, because I guess I didn't walk close enough to any of the wheelie bins or the piles of metal for that to come up. Had it have done when I was doing my prep, I would have thought, hang on a minute, what? That's interesting, because it says metal to melt straight away, and it says recyclable, but I just didn't. It just wasn't something that came up while I was doing the prep. But thank you to everyone that gave me the heads up. Loads of people did. Normally, if one person says to me, look, this is the situation, did you know about this? And again, not everyone was saying you missed it. A lot of people were saying, were you aware? You know, this is a thing. A couple of people did say to me, it might be PC only. You might check on console. I think because on the wheelie bins it says PC, but I think that's just the company thing. I think. But then I did have some people who said, oh, it's brilliant. You can pick them up by hand and you can put them in. You can't pick them up by hand on console. So potentially, if you're on PC, if you're using like is it Superhero or the Super Strength mod or something like that, that might be why you're able to pick them up. I haven't been able to. I went up to a couple, and because it says 1.1 ton, it won't let me pick them up. So yeah, potentially, it depends what you're using. And I said that before. You know, it all depends what you're running on your Let's Play. How you're running it will obviously affect all the parameters of what you can and can't do. On from there. Anyway, I've carried on talking long enough. Let's get this done. So contract at this point is complete. I've got 4 bales on. I haven't spoken while I've been doing this. You know, if you watch my channel, I don't like these legal grabs. But it's like I say with anything. The more you practice, the more you do it, the better you get it. And as I've been doing these, it's actually got a lot easier. The closer you are into them when you're doing them, I'd still in cab I'd really struggle with. But anyway, I've got 4 here and there's 8 still on the field. Now that as well comes off the back of cutting all round the edges of the field, making sure I went out as far as I could, cutting as much as I could, windrowing it in. I've probably gained myself at least 4 bales, I reckon, by doing that, if not more. So this is where the bonus comes in. Whilst I will only get 1/3 of the payment, 2/3 go to the authority, this is all mine. The frustrating thing is, I'd like to say, I don't know what we're going to make of this, but the frustrating thing being that, let's undo that. Oh, it's not being mega money, that's alright. I was thinking if it was going to be like mega money, then it's that thing of, well, it would be nice to be able to buy a skid steer loader, but I can't buy anything. I've got a lease, I have to lease. So I'm not going to get enough to buy one anyway. I mean, there's that John Deere one that I used on Edgewater, which is only 15 grand, but it's half loud, and I didn't want to use that one. I'm going to use the one, the Bobcat. I think I'm going to go for that, probably. But I'm going to lease it. I think it's 1,000 and something to lease. But as it stands at the moment, doing that will again increase productivity. It will speed up our processes. Switch back to the front, which means we can make money faster. We've got to clear all that dirt. The dirt's not about making money because it's not. I say there's not a lot of money in it. There's not a lot of money in it per 1,000 litres, but I think we've got quite a few thousand litres to clear. So I suppose when you look at it like that, we will make some money, but it's not going to be, you know, an equivalent. If you were doing an equivalent amount of, you know, wheat or something like that, there's just no way. But this, why would you suddenly roll away? What? No. I was just going to say, this is going so much better than the first lot I did. And it goes and rolls away on me. Why would you do that? Why? Come on a bit. There we go. Raise it, close it, tilt it. Switch to the back. Unfold. There we go, things back not bad. So, I'll see when this is done. There is I can't remember how much it was to use the equipment from the authority to do this, so the figure at the moment I can't work out what it's going to be. I will get paid the whole amount, but then I have to pay it, like I say, 2/3 of it will go, but it's the best way I could think of to make this work, and it'd be more challenging, I think. We're done. Contract is complete. Contract pays out 11,346. It's only 294 to borrow the equipment, which is cool. That works out at 2/3 to the authority. It's just over 7,500, I think. So, what I will do at this point is collect to complete, then come down to here. Then I need to go transfer money. 7,500. Transfer that out. We've still done all right. I mean, like I say, if you'd have said to me in the first episode, you can do a job that's going to make you, I don't know, 4 grand, and then obviously selling the bales, you know, I would have gone absolutely just jump all over that. So it's done. We've paid our dues. We've paid our, what we've got to pay back, and we're sitting on 25 grand, which I have to say I'm not happy with that. That's pretty cool. What I've got to do now, we'll go up, we'll look at the skid steer loader. I don't know. Yeah, like I say, I'm just thinking the trailers I wanted to use, whether or not. This has got enough oomph. to pull a trailer with a skid steer loader on the back. So I think the skid steer loader is going to be bigger than the actual 5-wheeler. I don't know. There's, like I say, there's always the equipment at the farm, but I've got. I suppose I'm leasing this. I was saying I've got to pay to use it, but there's a leasing fee if I'm going to borrow it from the authority. There's the fleet side, so I could just get a trailer that goes with the fleet side, I suppose. And they've got a tractor as well. I could use that. I suppose if I looked at the leasing cost of doing this, and then I could ask myself, well, I don't know what they'll charge. I said it's 100 if I just borrow a piece of equipment. That's established. So if I just borrow it for a job, it's 100. Bang. But I've got to pay that regardless. A long-term lease? I guess it would have to be equitable to what I'm paying out at the moment. So I'm going to need a bucket. I'm going to need forks. So I won't go into the store because of the music, and if I go into the store menu now, a couple of people messaged me and said, well, turn the radio off, turn the in-game radio off. Unfortunately, my in-game radio is off. I never have that on anyway. The music that's set on a map, usually, unless there's a radio somewhere, sometimes there's a radio, you can turn it off, but as you go around to different locations, there'll be sound effects and stuff like that. Often the music is set, and on this one, when you go into the store menu as well, there's music playing as well. And whether you turn the radio on or off, it doesn't affect that at all. But again, thank you for the advice. Someone said, had you thought about turning the radio off? I never have the radio on because of obviously putting content out. You can't take the risk of music playing. So and a few people said to me, just use the wheel loader. Again, that's not what that's for here. That would be the easy option to just say, oh, I'll lease that, and I could make up an amount, and I've gone straight from nothing. Oh, that's a point. The wheelbarrow. I brought the wheelbarrow over. We're going to sell that, aren't we? Oh yeah, I've gone from a wheelbarrow and a shovel to a wheel loader. You know, no, that's not mine. That's for here at the store. That's not saying at some point further down the line when I've got a bit more money, I could look at what it costs to lease one and say, well, rather than lease one, I'll just lease that from them, and I'll pay them amount. As you've seen, I can transfer money to the authority, so I can do that. That's the plan. Right, I'm going to sell this. I'll get the skid steer loader, forks and bucket, and then I'll look at the trailer situation. I'll try and hook it up and see if that'll pull it. If it does, we might be alright. If not, we'll see. Okay, I've got the skid steer loader, got the bucket, got the forks. That was 1,200 a lease. That was, I think that was 100. Not even 100. That was 40 something, and that was, I can't remember what that was. So it wasn't very expensive. The trailer is the Lizard J4027. That was 160 to lease, and it's gone on there no problem at all. It's hooked up no problem at all. I'm fine at the moment. It's when I get onto the rough stuff, the dirt, whether or not that will work. Now I'm thinking that bucket's a 1,500 litre, that's a 1,600 litre trailer, and that holds 800. So what I'm thinking now is leasing a bigger trailer. Problem is, will that pull a bigger trailer when it's full? So I'm going to test it. That one I'm going to take back, and this is the whole thing. I've got the money, I've done that bit of work, we've sold some ore, we did that contract. So if I get a larger trailer, we're upping or speeding up our production or clearing of that dirt road. That's what I need to do. So I'll give it a go. I'll take it up. I'm going to have to do a couple of runs backwards and forwards because obviously I've got to take this up first, then come back for the trailer, take that up, and then we'll start clearing and see how we go. So I have found another patch of iron ore. Iron ore. I'll show you at some point. It might just be a little clip. I might do a bit of that, but we'll see. You might notice my John Deere has changed somewhat. I got onto the first little hill with a little bit of dirt and it just bogged down. It would not move. It did not have what it took. But this, the Lizard XJ, I've got it standard engine size. It's a 4 litre, 350 horsepower. I've got it with the fairly standard wheels. I mean, there's so many different options you can go for this one. I've got it with the roof rack, which has got straps and lights on it. and front and rear winch on an off-road bumper. To buy standard, it's only 3,900. To lease that was 313. That's all. 313. Now, if I'd leased or borrowed the fleet side from the authority, like I said, 100 for a single job. If I'd have leased that for a longer period, it would have cost me a few thousand. So this 313. That's a no-brainer. It will pull what I need. I'm going to drop off the trailer with this on, go back and get at least the just the first that one there, the Velga DK115. It's 8,000 litres, but obviously the difference between having the 850, was it 2,450 was the combined I had. I've gone from 2,450 up to 8,000, so not quite 4 times the capacity, but it's a larger capacity. We've got some gear, cheap as chips to lease, we're all right. So what I'm going to do is we'll pull into here to unload, because I managed to clear, this is the amount of dirt I managed to clear to here, this line here. That's it, that's all I've cleared so far. Stones are all gone. Our accommodation, I'm thinking of getting a deck chair or something for out here. Having now the experience we've just had this weekend, I need someone to sit. I'm getting too old for all this, man. My back was killing me. So yes, that's what we're going to do. Right, so let's unload this. I'll go back for the trailer. As I said, there might be a little clip of me just putting some dirt into the back. Just thinking now, I don't want to do this, so we can get it all on and off, and probably do with backing this in, and I can get the skids to load it out, and then I can then rehook up this. And then tomorrow, when we go out and we do some refuse collection, I might just still use this flatbed. It's a little bit, it's a small flatbed, and there's a few different ones available. I thought about maybe actually that's the point. This one, like I say, I'm sure it was 140 or something, 100. It wasn't very expensive to lease, but there is the Berkman, isn't there? I suppose we've got that as an option. Turn the lights on so we can see what we're doing. Straps off, and then unfold that. I'm pretty sure we can. Oh, it doesn't like that at all inside the building, is it? What was it? There we go. Widen those out, might be too far. Oh no, what have I done? No, that's what, there we go. I wonder why that got something funny. I wasn't on the trailer all the time. Right, so, have I got that right? Yeah. We are getting gear and we are moving forward. That's where we need to be. We're heading in the right direction, that's the main thing. Back that a bit further out. Actually, I might do alright with this, you know. Oh no, it's heavy. I found that with the shovel, and there's no rear weight for this. Oh, this isn't going to work, is it? 1,500 litres is too much. I can't, there's no way I'll be able to lift that into a trailer. Even if I brought the trailer to the side of this, I think it's still going to stand too tall, in which case I'm still going to have to lift it. Oh man, that's annoying. But if you can't fill a bucket and lift it, that's going to be an issue. Right, I'm going to have to fiddle around with this. I'm going to go and get the trailer, see if I can get it to work with the ramp. If I can, brilliant. If I can't, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm lost. Huh? Oh, I'll show you the way out. Where our where was it? It's up here somewhere. Where did I find it? God, blimey, go. It's up here somewhere. Where did I find it? There was some more ore. Oh, here we go. There's not a lot of it, but there is some here. That runs right the way across. There is a little bit here. I haven't looked further over actually. Where there's some, there will be some more, I would imagine. I said I'd have a bit of a wander because we'd have to search around. Oh yeah, look, there we go. We've got some more here. Again, not a lot. Getting the skid loader in is going to be interesting, isn't it? And especially if the bucket situation stays the same. But there is some. What was that? No. Anyway, yeah. I'm going to go back and get the trailer. So I can get some of this dirt cleared. I'll do some overnight and then back to the road again. Do a few runs backwards and forwards. Yeah, that's where we're at. I shall crack on. It's just gone 6 o'clock at night. First full load, 8,000 litres. We'll see what we get. Oh, like I said, it's not going to be a lot, but I've got to clear it. And any money we get is money we get. So, you know, it's got to be done. I'll earn some money, shift enough of it. It's that principle. Sell cheap, shift a load, you'll make a load of money. Same thing with this. How much are we going to get for that? Full loads. I'm going to shift a load, an absolute load. See you later on. Just for my own sanity, in between runs of dirt, I gathered up some ore. I say gathered up some ore. I've most of what I could find. There may be more. There were some patches I just couldn't get to. I couldn't get to with the bucket. I tried. So I've got a full load. There's a little bit more out there. Again, I'm going to have to do some more searching through the undergrowth, see if I can get any more. But again, it's money in the bank. It's taking a while to do it, but we're getting some pay. It will all help releasing other stuff as we move forward. So it needs to be done. I'll see if I can find any more. If I can find my way out of here. a month has gone by. We're into September. I arise just after 7 o'clock in the morning, and as you can see, the money's gone up. Wow. 16 loads of 8,000 litres. 16? 16 or 17? Well, we've got the 17th to go. We have got refuse collection to do, but on the way out to pick up the skid steer loader, you'll also see the skid steer loader has changed somewhat. The one that I originally got, it was okay, but without a rear weight on it, even I was doing 1,000 litres of a 1,500 litre bucket, and it just couldn't lift it. It was just about okay on the ramp, but anywhere else it just wouldn't work. So I decided to go for the Black Sheep modding one. Is it skid steer loader 711? I think it's the 711. Massey Ferguson. I've got it in its kind of basic form. As you can see, let's get the lights on. We've cleared all up here of all the dirt, so our dirt farming. Cleared all the way to here. I couldn't get this little bit from this lip. From either direction and even side on, I just could not get the bucket into that little bit there. But we've gone all up the roads, hence 16 full loads up to here. I've got a full load on at the moment, 8,000 litres. This is what we've got. I went for the tracked version. It comes with a rear weight in the pack, so I've got the rear weight, and the bucket's a 2,000 litre. So with the rear weight and a 2,000 litre bucket, I say it's making light work of it. It's not making light work of it, but lighter work than using a wheelbarrow and a shovel. As far as that one load of ore I did, 8,000 litres, it made me a nice bit of money. But blimey, was that a nightmare getting it out. Because of the bucket, and I tried originally with the 1,500 litre bucket, which was a bit smaller than the 2,000. Because of the way this is all very, it's not even undulating. It's just it's all over the place. Everywhere I found ore, it was in little dips and cracks, and it's the sort of thing you're probably going to need. Maybe even a pickup conveyor. I'm trying to think. Oh, I've lost it all now. There were little seams of it all along here, and I got out what I could, but blimey, it was a game. I did find some more over the other side of the road, but it got to a point where, and this is the other thing, I'm glad it's daytime. You hear that sound? Is it crickets or cicadas or nighttime? The nighttime noises. Oh, my eardrums! It was incessant. And the thing is, normally you'll go kind of past the sound and you'll move away, and oh yeah, I've got some more here. Actually, this is fairly flat compared to everything else I was doing. But at night, I would move away from the sound, and it would follow me. It was just everywhere, and it was so loud. So if you're thinking about doing nighttime forestry, setting up some floodlights and working through the night, or like I was doing, clearing the dirt, or whatever you're doing, I must admit, after about an hour, I think my brain tuned it out in the end. It was loud. Anyway, the situation then, we need to jump in that, do that. I'll take the other bucket load later on. We're going to go to the store and pick up our forks, because we need to go and grab some of the wheelie bins and deliver some trash. That's the plan. I'll say part of our daily chores, monthly chores, whichever way you want to look at it. This is working a lot better. I mean, it's not. I haven't got the one with the. Probably should have got the roll cage, but it was more expensive to do that, so I didn't bother. And because I've gone nice and cheap, there's a bit of dirt. Yeah, see, if you see anywhere where you've got little sharp dips, it doesn't matter what angle I try and come at it with the bucket. There's little bits I just can't get. I've been fiddling around. It's not the end of the world, but the other thing I looked at as well was the Berkman trailer. I thought maybe I'd get the Berkman instead, because I think the Berkman trailer's bigger. The Berkman trailer is identical in size to this. I thought I'd have a look. The difference is it's got sides on it, and the whole thing tips with the ramp at the back rather than ramps come off the back. But as far as actual base size, pretty much identical. So we do that, then that, like that. So just a little bit, maybe a little bit. We'll head down, we'll pick up the forks. I'll use this trailer. I mean, we've got 50 grand, so I'm really happy with that because that does give us a few options. I was thinking maybe taking the tracks off this and going wheeled. I thought maybe that might help a little bit because as you can see, this is already moving on the trailer. I think it might be because the trailer's on a bit of an angle, but we'll jump out and we'll strap it down straight away. There we go. Hopefully stop that moving around so much. Fold those back up. So like I say, yeah, going for this at 313, and because all the equipment and machinery I've picked up has been fairly inexpensive to lease, my overnight lease costs were next to nothing. I mean, very, very low. So I am now managing to produce or get enough stuff out. Like I say, the dirt is it's hardly worth anything. We're doing 8,000 litres at a time compared to 2,450 litres at a time. I'm making a little bit of money, and that little bit of money, you do enough runs in an hour, you're covering your leasing fees, and you're making a bit of money, and that's where we need to be at. It also means I can look at potentially, as we move forward, I can lease more expensive equipment. Do I want to lease more expensive equipment? I don't want to drain that money out of the account too much, if I can help it. I was looking at some of the harvest contracts, and the harvest contracts, the fields aren't that big, and it's that sort of thing that if the authority says, okay, we need you to do a harvest contract, if like everyone mucking, like it used to be back in the day when, you know, people would go out into the fields at harvest time and everyone would chip in to help. If it's that case of, look, we need you to do some harvesting, and I'm going to lose 2/3 of the payment, some of them only paid out 300-400. You know, I'd have to do it as a case of they need me to do it, therefore I will do it, not I'm going to do it because I'm going to make a load of money. I guess the deal, I say the deal being that I get the crop left over, so it might be worth doing it literally for that. It's not going to be a money making scheme, and my way of making money at the moment, it's taking a long time to make any money. But like anything, if you're prepared to put the time in, you know, you can earn a bit of money. It's just yeah, whether you want to put the time in doing it. I've already upped my ante dramatically, and I've said that right at the start. When I was pushing the wheelbarrow thinking, oh dear, what did I do? But this seems more than fair enough. We'll whiz up. So just onto that rather than full beam. So what I'll do is, I'm trying to think, I mean, I think there's bins everywhere. There's one out the front there, they're all over the place. I might only get, if I do them sideways, I might only get a couple on, I might get 3 onto this trailer at a time. They're only 1,000 litres, and again, they're not worth very much. The refuse, the money I get from that, that's mine. I don't have to, it's only contract work. This is work I have to do, and I suppose their way of, there's 3 out the front there as well. Their way of looking at it is, you know, you're doing that service. It's not the nicest of jobs to have to do. So if you can make any money doing it, that's yours, I guess. Which again is fair enough. But as I said, the I think, well, we'll see actually when I deliver the first load. If I don't get paid, and it goes to authority, they'll have to pay me, but how would I know what it is? That's an interesting one. I'm thinking the first load I'll do as me, and then what I'll have to do is potentially, let's do that, potentially switch over to the authority, work for them to do it, then I'll see how much it is, and then we can transfer that money into the account. I don't know yet, I'll have to think about that. That's an interesting one. Oh, I can't change the tracks on this, can I? Because it's leased. It's only if you own something you can change it. If I want to change anything on it, I'm going to have to lease it again. I don't really want to do that. Right, let's get this on. I could probably... I'll drive this over to the first one. 11 miles now, it's not too far, is it? Probably not bins around the back of here. Oh yeah, look over there, look. Have they got some bins over there? Let's go and grab them. Might as well start here. Like I say, I think sideways might... Oh, they've got quite a few here. Oh, and some metal. I can't pick the metal up. That's a little bit too heavy. I think it's... Was it 8 tonnes, wasn't it? 5,000 litres, 8 tonnes. That's going to be for further down the line. But, oh yeah, we've got a few here. So what we should be able to do, to turn that on, is... Like I say, I don't... So I did wonder whether you had to lift them up and tip them or something, but I think it's literally just these. You take them as they are. So what I'll do, if I bring over the trailer, it makes more sense than me going backwards and forwards. If I bring the trailer over, load 3 on, we'll whiz down. If I don't get paid, then I'll switch over and we'll do it on the authorities' payroll. Again, it's not mega money, but it's a job that's got to be done. That, do that, do that, in a little bit, and let's try it. So, God, wouldn't it be cool if your local bin men did it like this with skid steer loaders, and that'd be pretty cool. I'd be out watching them. What are you doing? I'm just watching the bin men, as you do. I might only get 2 on the rest. No. I suppose I could load on from the side as well if I wanted to. Will this will work? This is one of those things that I thought. I love the idea of it. Everyone produces rubbish. It doesn't matter, you know, what the industry is. There's going to be rubbish. It needs to be collected. And again, yes, it's not farming. I get that, but it's another process. And as I said when I started off in the first episode, and when I did my map tour, I messed that up. I need to raise up higher when I get to the thing. It ticks a whole load of boxes for me in that it kind of. Well done. Just I knocked it sideways. Come on. Take the forks out. There we go. You know, Gold Rush, Snow Runner, and farming all in one. You know, it's fun. I'm just enjoying it, and that's the biggest part of all of it. Right, raise it high this time. Learn from your previous mistakes. Oh, doesn't like that. No. Better off doing this sideways on, but see if I can get this one on. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on. No, I like it, okay. Sideways it is, and then I'll just push them all together at the end, I think. Some forks in. Pick up from the side. Yep, cool. Come on, back. Not something I ever thought I would do. Honestly, but it's making me smile. time, shouldn't I? Let's see what happens, shall we? So what's that sound? Pro containers for greater justice. Okay. Recycling centre it is. And it's one of those things as well, if you wanted to, again off camera or off screen or whatever it is you want to do, you could spend a couple of hours just trying. I mean, if I got a bigger trailer, if I got a bigger low loader, I could just go around the entire map. I wouldn't think, I don't know, I wouldn't think they respawn. I know the ones when you're doing productions, I assume they will appear maybe like this, I guess. Because these are all over the place anyway. I mean, they're everywhere. I'm assuming. I mean, I suppose things are going to be as we move forward with this. I took the wrong turn, didn't I? As we move forward with this, we'll see whether or not they reappear there, or there's a finite amount on the map. And if once you've got rid of them, well, yeah, some over there by the houses. Oh, music. I just suddenly remember the recycling centre. Right, this is quick then, and I have to make sure I speak up. Right, recycling centre, we are here. I'm sure there's music here. It might be next door there's music, but I'll keep speaking up so you can't hear the music playing in the background. Right, that is going down, and I'm not getting paid. So, what I have to do when I do the next load, I'll do it on behalf of the authority. See what the authority gets for it, and I'll have to move the money for both of them, and I can then do a whole load more if I want to do a whole load more. Again, it just comes down to how much time you want to put into it. There is money to be made doing it. Just depends whether it's something you're prepared to do. And in the situation I'm in, yeah, I've got 50 grand sitting there, but again, that's a finite amount of money. We all know from Farming Simulator, you start buying equipment, and for me, leasing equipment, and it goes really quickly. I want to be at a point that when I get my citizenship, whenever that may be, I've got a bit of money built up. I've got a bit of money behind me, so I can then look at what I'm going to do next. So what I'll do, I will switch over to the authority. I will load up the next 3. We'll go back and we'll see what that's for. I'm just thinking, should I go somewhere else? I'll make it the bin from over there. Yeah, and we'll do that in a little while. I'll do these first, and then I can have a bit of a wander, but it's just a proof of concept again, like I say. And again, I can't thank everyone enough for you know, letting me know and putting me onto it. It's not something that would have dawned on me maybe initially, probably as I kind of went round, because my focus is more in doing the dirt and the iron ore and stuff like that, I guess. And unless I just assumed it was all just decorative. It wouldn't have occurred to me to come over and check necessarily straight away. Heading down with the next load then. As you can see, we're now on to the authority's account. That's not mine. 9,074,000. Whoa, okay. Looks like I'm in the way. Let's head in. See what happens this time. I'm assuming they will go on to their pay. It's a weird one, isn't it? Because I'm on multiplayer, I guess. If you were on single player, I suppose it would be just an account, wouldn't it? I guess, I don't know. So let's see what happens this time. Yeah, there we go. Like I say, it's not going to be mega money at all, but it'll be something, and whatever it is. So for all three, 551. So let's say 1,100. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to whiz up into the town and load up some more. And it's easy work. 1,000, 500. All right, it's not a load each time. If I had a bigger trailer and I went round and packed the trailer out with them, again, it's a bit of money, and it's some money we can make with a bit of equipment, a little bit of lease stuff. It doesn't have to be big equipment. They're all over the place. We can just go around and we can grab them. And I've gone the wrong way again. It's going to take me to the outer gate. Oh, don't there's up. Oh yeah, there's loads all up here as well. Out the fronts of people's houses. We can always grab a whole load from there. I wonder if I can cut through. So this is the farm that's owned by the authority, and all this stuff, all here, it is all available. But there's a lease cost involved if I want to, and that's comparable to if I leased them from the store, I suppose. Oh look, they're all over the place. Look, it's bin galore. I might do a few more of these then. Spend a bit of time just clearing some of these. Get another few grand in the old bit of walking around money, But that's where I'm going to leave this episode. We've done a bit. We've made a bit of money. I mean, I'm pleased with how we've gone with this. There is more iron ore to collect, but it's really fiddly. Unless I can find like an iron ore pile, but I don't think there's any on the land we're on. But that's going to be something, I guess, moving forward, if I take the mining route and do some more like proper mining. But I don't know how long it's going to take before I can get to a point where I could afford to own the mine or anything like that. But anyway, yeah, that's where we're at. That's what we're doing. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you choose to do. As always, thanks for watching.